Hey, this is Pastor Steve with Word Study number 29. And the word that we're going to look at today is another name. And that name is Miriam. Miriam, according to Scripture, was the sister of Moses and Aaron. Also, we know that she was called a prophetess in Scriptures. It's a female prophet. We also know that she was used of God as a leader sent by the Lord to guide Israel. Well, one of the things that we probably know about Miriam as much as anything, and even though the Scripture doesn't name her in this story, people presume it's her, and that is the story of Moses when he was a baby. If you remember that story, the Egyptians were killing all the Israeli babies, I think 2 years and under, because they did not want them to continue to multiply so quickly, and for the fear of them taking over and coming up underneath that slavery that they were in. Again, so Pharaoh just issued this order. Well, Moses' mother had decided that she didn't want her child to be killed, so she hid Moses until she could hide him no longer, and then she devised this plan that she would put him in a basket and pitch it with tar so it would not sink, and she put it in the river and just trusted that God would somehow spare this baby's life. Pharaoh's daughter was down at the river at that particular time, and looked over and heard this baby crying and took this baby to be her own. Well, the baby was not weaned yet, so they were looking for a Hebrew mother that could nurse this baby until the baby could be weaned. And so Miriam, this sister at least, which we presume is Miriam, was there watching the whole thing, and went to Pharaoh's daughter and said, "Hey, I know a Jewish lady who has the ability to nurse this child." So God worked that out to where Moses' mother was able to care for her own child. But Miriam had a lot to do with that story. Also, we know that there was Miriam's song of victory after the Israelites successfully crossed over the Red Sea, and it is one of the earliest poems written in Scripture. While Miriam was involved in a rebellion against Moses, that's a negative thing, when he decided to marry an Ethiopian woman, and both she and Aaron claimed to be prophets during this time, but God heard their claims and rebuked them. And because of her part in the rebellion against Moses' leadership, Miriam was struck with the disease of leprosy. Well, however, Moses interceded for her and she was quickly healed. And she's not mentioned again in Scripture until her death and burial. One of the things that I wanted us to notice about Miriam, even though she was used of God a few times, we know that she was human. She also failed, like we all do. And yet we find that Moses interceded for her before the Lord. And so first of all, we all need intercessors, don't we? We need people praying for us. We need people going to the Lord on our behalf. But also we need to go to the Lord on others' behalf as well. We need to be forgiving. We need to be patient. We need to be understanding. We need to be compassionate. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless.